She once thought you'd always be there. Now she's puzzled by your changed vibe. Why aren't your messages as frequent? Why does your tone lack its former urgency? And here's the catch. She senses it long before she'll confess. This isn't about mind tricks. This is about what stirs in a woman's thoughts when the man she figured she knew stops pursuing, stops demonstrating, stops showering her with focus. And if you've ever dialed back your presence, on purpose or not, what follows might catch you off guard. Female instincts aren't just feelings. They're primal. Let's unpack it. 1. Bewilderment creeps in. When a woman first notices your focus drifting, her first response is nearly always puzzlement. She might not voice it, but her inner alarm pings. She starts sensing something's off. The way you once gazed at her, so engaged, so there, isn't quite the same. Your responses come slower. The warmth in your speech is softer. And your zeal to connect, to inquire about her day, to show up reliably, is not as it was. And now, whether she owns it or not, she's trying to pinpoint why. 2. Her pride feels the sting. Once bewilderment starts to fade, the next surge is her pride. It's not even about longing for you yet. It's about missing how much you made her feel cherished. The praise, the focus, the emotional spark you once offered freely. It nourished something deep within her, something instinctual. And now, with that spark gone, there's an emptiness. She might not be smitten. She might not even crave something lasting. But what she seeks is to feel admired. When that emotional glow fades, her inner voice wonders, why isn't he noticing me anymore? So, she does what many do when their pride feels wounded. She responds. Maybe she shares bold posts online. Maybe she suddenly gets chatty in your shared circles. Maybe she casually messages you about something trivial just to test your reaction. It's not always clear, but every step is measured to check if she still captures your focus. The more profound truth here is influence. She wants to feel she still holds some power over you. And when she doesn't get the response she hopes for, it irks her more than she shows. Her pride takes a blow, and that's where the real emotional work begins. 3. She starts revisiting the past. This is where things shift inwardly for her. After the bewilderment and pride hit, she begins to reflect. At first, she focused on her current activities, but now she reviews what has already transpired. Women are deeply reflective when emotionally stirred, and when they sense something vital is fading, they dive into memories. She recalls how you once treated her, the times you showed up, the effort you invested, the passion you poured into talks, plans, surprises, even disputes. She starts to see where she might have overlooked that passion. At this point, it's less about why you stopped and more about whether she drove you away. This phase often sparks guilt or uncertainty. And when that hits, something deeper begins to shift. She might stay silent, but she's recalling all the warmth and dependability. She's realizing you weren't the issue. Perhaps she was too caught up in her pride or seeking approval from others to appreciate someone genuinely. This is often the quiet pivot where she once thought she held the advantage, but now she sees she might have lost something precious, and it lands differently because you're not pursuing anymore. You're just absent, and your quiet becomes the loudest thing she feels. For the withdrawal strikes her emotionally. By this stage, she's not just pondering, she's feeling. The emotional void you left grows more apparent. It appears in small moments. When something amusing happens, she reaches for her phone to share with you, but pauses. When she's out and realizes she cares less about who's noticing. When her favorite tune plays, it brings back a memory with you. That's when the quiet starts to resonate. The loss becomes tangible, not just an idea. It's key to grasp that women process feelings uniquely. While men often react swiftly, women feel in stages. First bewilderment, then pride, then reflection, and finally emotion. This is the phase where she might shed tears over you without fully grasping why. She's mourning the space you once filled. What once felt bothersome. Your long messages, your steady calls, suddenly becomes what she longs for most. Not because you were flawless, but because, in your way, you were constant. And now that constancy is gone, she feels the imbalance within herself. Some women stay tough during this phase. Others crumble quietly. Either way, her emotions are stirred. And whether she admits it or not, you've become more meaningful in absence than you ever were in presence. 5. The urge to reconnect. This is the phase where her inner tension drives her to act. After all the overthinking, emotional waves, and reflection, she makes a choice. She wants to reconnect. But how she does it hinges entirely on her character and past interactions with you. Some women will be straightforward. They'll text you, call you, and ask to meet. They'll say things like, "I was just thinking of you," or, "Hey, remember that time?" A gentle nudge to see if the door's still open. Others might choose a subtler route. She might start viewing all your posts, liking old updates, and casually commenting on something to remind you she's around. Why? Because now the worry of losing your focus has turned into the fear of losing you. This is where many men either regain their strength or lose it again. If you dive back in, overwhelmed by her return, she'll sense the power shift and might lose interest. But if you stay balanced, if your vibe is steady, if your standards haven't dropped, she'll respect it. She might not voice it, but inside, she sees you differently. Now, this reconnection isn't just about romance. It's about validation for her and for you. She wants to know, do I still matter to him? And your response will answer that far louder than words ever could. Remember, it's not about brushing her off or being distant. It's about staying anchored. Stay true to who you've become, not who you were. 6. Respect, regret, or both. The final stage is potent and often quiet. She may not say anything outright, but this is when the fundamental shift in how she perceives you settles in. Depending on how the earlier phases unfolded, she either grows deep respect for you or is left with quiet regret. If you stayed composed, leveled up, and didn't let your emotions steer your actions, she'll notice. She might never fully express it, but she'll carry that image of you forward. As the man who didn't plead, didn't falter, and didn't compromise himself for her focus. That earns admiration. On the other hand, if she realizes too late what she lost, and if her efforts to reconnect didn't go as hoped, it might turn into regret. Not anger, not resentment, just quiet, lingering inner regret. She might tell her friends, "He was truly a great guy." She might measure every man after you against the one who gave her steady care and didn't make a fuss when he left. This phase can linger for months or even years. It's not loud, it's introspective. But one thing is sure. Once she realizes your focus wasn't needy, but precious, her entire view of you transforms. And here's the reality. By then, you've likely grown so much that her opinion no longer drives you. Her admiration or regret, it doesn't define you. It just proves you made the right choice by stepping away with grace. So, how does a woman respond when she realizes she's no longer the focus of your world? She feels it first with bewilderment, then with pride, followed by reflection, emotion, action, and finally acceptance. She may reach out, regret, or even try to return. But if your withdrawal came from strength, not bitterness, then you didn't lose her. You discovered yourself. Watch the following clip. You're about to grasp female instincts on a whole new level.